what's your thing that makes you the happiest?
And just focus there.
Only there.
You're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's going to be best for you and not what somebody told you to do.
If you ever find your gut battling your head, save yourself the drama. I guarantee you your gut is right. Guarantee you your excuses can be undone. And I guarantee you, you can make a U-turn in your life right now.
Most people are staying at jobs or working things, or even marriage or relationships because they fear change. Can I do better? Can I get a better opportunity? Will somebody hire me? Will somebody date me? Will somebody marry me? Will somebody want my kids that I have? That's a fear, and people don't want to make change. So I don't just take it from just an entrepreneurial standpoint. I take that conversation to the social behavior of people where they don't want to make adjustments because they've already told themselves they can't do it. And when you make adjustments, when you stop yourself first, really sad. Because let somebody else tell you what you cannot do. But in the process of that, prepare for success. In other words, are you willing to put time in your next move? And a lot of people say things like, I'm not a morning person. I don't really know what that means. I really don't. I have 24 hours in the day. I try to take advantage of every hour. And I have certain rules that I initially tell people on a regular basis. If you want to start living a successful life, start locking into a consistent time that you should get up every day. Don't let it deviate. If you say get up at 8 o'clock, don't hit the other snooze and get up at 8:30. I get up at 4:30. That's just my time. I'm not a happy guy getting up, but that's a goal I set. And I'm gonna just tell you this honestly. If you're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's gonna be best for you and not what somebody told you to do. And that's when all bets are off, man, because you're about to enter some uncharted waters that's gonna force you to challenge yourself to be perfect in so many ways. And shooting for perfection is all good. You don't shoot for average, because you're not gonna hit all the time. If you shoot for perfection and you hit good or great, you're winning. Don't ever shoot for average. I just try to get people to understand, don't be average. You have to make adjustments to achieve your goals. And if you're not really happy about where you're at, but guess what? There's change is needed, especially millennials. Some of the things that you're gonna do in life is not tied to a check. Don't guide your life by how much you're gonna be paid, but how much you get out of it, the opportunity. That's really key. Not how much you're getting paid, but how much you're gonna get out of the opportunity.
When asked what's the biggest mistake we make in life, the Buddha replied, the biggest mistake is you think you have time. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. And once it's lost, you can never get it back. The average person lives 78 years. We spend 28.3 years of our life sleeping. That's almost a third of our life, but 30% of us struggle to sleep well. We spend 10.5 years of our life working, but over 50% of us want to leave our current jobs. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can never get more time. We spend 9 years on TV and social media. We spend 6 years doing chores. We spend 4 years eating and drinking. We spend 3.5 years in education. We spend 2.5 years grooming. We spend 2.5 years shopping. We spend 1.5 years in childcare, and we spend 1.3 years commuting. That leaves us with 9 years. How will we spend that time? Steve Jobs said your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. So there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Imagine you wake up every day with $86,400 in your bank account. And at the end of the night, it's all gone, whether you spent it or not. And then the next day, you get another $86,400. What would we do with it? Every day, 86,400 seconds are deposited into your life account. At the end of the day, once they're all used up, you get a new 86,400 seconds. We would never waste it if it was money, so why do we waste it when it comes to time? Those seconds are so much more powerful than dollars, because you can always make more dollars, you can't always make more time. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who lost her child in the final month. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of an online magazine. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the couple who's in a long-distance relationship. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask the person who just missed a bus, train, or plane. To realize the value of 1 second, ask the person who just missed an accident. And to realize the value of a millisecond, ask the person who just came second at the Olympics. We think that it's people wasting our time, but it's really us giving them the permission to do that. And in reality, these two people live inside us. Don't let someone be a priority when all you are to them is an option. Some of us lose the people most important to us because we don't value their time. Some of us don't recognize how important someone is to us until they're gone. Inside all of us are two voices. One voice that wants to uplift, one voice that wants us to expand, one voice that wants us to grow. And then there's the other voice, the voice that holds us back. The voice that makes us lazy, the voice that makes us complacent, the voice that restricts us from our potential. Every day, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, inside of us there's this battle between the two voices. And guess which one wins? The one that we listen to the most, the one that we feed, the one that we amplify. It is our choice of how we use our time. Life and time are the best two teachers. Life teaches us to make good use of time, and time teaches us the value of life. And as William Shakespeare said, time is very slow for those who want, very fast for those who are scared, very long for those who are sad, very short for those who celebrate. But for those who love, time is eternal.
I was 22, right after I graduated from Dartmouth. I was so focused on making everyone happy that I almost chose the worst possible career for my personality. It's not a bad career, it just would have been horrendous for me. I was interested in the environment, so I decided, I'll go get a law degree, and then I'll go work in Washington. And I think maybe I'll work on environmental policy, and I'd probably end up in some cube farm. And everyone was thrilled with the plan. Everyone, it turns out, but me. So here I am, I'm driving a U-Haul across country to go to law school and to get a degree in environmental law. And something started to gnaw at me. And with every single mile that I drove, my thoughts were getting louder and doubts were starting to pour in. My gut was telling me, Mel, turn the damn U-Haul around. But the problem was that everything was already in place, right? I mean, I'm already in the U-Haul. The thing is already packed. I'm already 10 miles into my drive. The tuition had been paid for the first semester. I had signed a lease. I mean, I could not undo these things. Isn't that why it's so difficult for you to make changes in your life? Because you think that things can't be undone? The fact is, any excuse that you come up with, you can undo. Tuition can be reimbursed, apartments can be leased, Plan B can be invented. So I got up, I repacked that U-Haul, and I drove out of town. I let myself make a U-turn in life. If you ever find your gut battling your head, save yourself the drama. I guarantee you your gut is right. Guarantee you your excuses can be undone. And I guarantee you can make a U-turn in your life right now if you want.
People quit all the time because they're doing it for the money. I think the bigger question is, what do you want the money for? Is it blocking an insecurity? Is it to get the girl? Is because you're trying to amass as much as you can because you actually don't like working and you want to live? The reason so many people fail in life and business is their model is, let me get the money so that I can enjoy and relax. They think of it as like hoarding it and then eating it all over time. It's like retirement and all this. It's such a bad way to think, because then you're feeling the pressure of like massing so that you can then enjoy. I think the bigger question is like, what are you up to? Like, why are you doing it? Like, what's up? I just think a lot of people are trying to achieve success and use fame or money as makeup for a situation that they're just not happy about. Like, you have to figure out how to make your day in and day out happy. It's all an inside game. You need to be enjoying the amassing so much that you never get to the enjoying part. Otherwise, you're gonna be impatient and try to be out of it as quickly as possible to buy those things, or you're gonna regret it later in life, right? Like, I will never retire because it's not as fun as working. Like, it's not as fun. Like, it's not as fun for me to lay on the beach and play golf all day and lay on a yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean for 100 days in the summer and go to vineyards and go to concerts and see friends. That's not as fun as 15 hours of meetings all day. I don't want to lay in a swan in a pool. I don't want to. That is what people have to figure out. Whether that's singing or being a mother or teaching a classroom, to me the game matters. And by the way, somebody may be looking and being like, Gary looks like at 4 a.m., 6 flights in Asia, and I'm sitting here in Ibiza. And for her or him, that's winning, and that's great. You've gotta try and figure that out at all costs. And if you're not happy right now, you need to do something different. I just don't understand how people think wealth is the gateway to happiness. The gateway to happiness is to love your process, whatever that may be, whether that creates wealth or doesn't, if that creates legacy in art or it doesn't, that creates impact on the world or it doesn't. You've gotta try and figure that out at all costs. And if you're not happy right now, you need to do something different. You just have to, if you are not happy right now, you have to break your patterns. You have to look at life from a different perspective. You have to find a different angle to look at it from, because this shit goes fast even though it's long. Figure out what your fucking winning is. My winning is different than a lot of people's. I don't get envy, I get excited, I get competitive, I enjoy it, I enjoy my thing. What's your thing that makes you the happiest?
And just focus there.
Only there. I think one of the biggest problems right now, especially for people under 30 who want to be influencers or entrepreneurs, which is almost everybody, there's a lot of vanity metrics that they're trying to achieve to that mean nothing. I raised $50 million. So, you might go out of business. I've got 1 million subscribers. So, I've got 10 million subscribers. So, I think right now, we live in a world that has so much data that people are living towards the numbers. How many likes, how many followers, how much capital I've raised. It becomes a numbers race, and it usually leads to bad behavior, because when you're chasing a number that people can see, you often take shortcuts. For me, the shit is the caviar. Like, I love the fucking process. I love building. A very big reason acting probably worked out was you both thought it could bring you something you were looking for from a level of attention and success and fame and dollars, but you also liked it. Because otherwise, if you didn't like it, you would have quit after the third no at auditions. When you do something for money, you quit. When you do it because you love it, you do it forever. People win when they're self-aware. Some want to make their bed, some don't. Some have this strength, some have that weakness. You need to figure out who you are, and you need to execute against that. You have to love the process, not the stuff that the process buys you.